Hello, this is Cheri. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to draw a young man. You start with a loose circle, and at the bottom of the circle, you're going to draw the outline of the man's jaw, bone, and chin. It's very geometrical. Again, with this, as in all faces, you want to get your proportions done correctly, and that's what these lines are for. And I didn't like the proportions there, so I'm moving them over and erasing them. You can do that too. If you don't like how your proportions look, if they don't look balanced, move them over. Drawing the eyebrows on the top line. Next are the eyes. I'm drawing very geometrical eyes because masculine features are often very geometrical in nature and in art. And of course, you saw me drawing the nose, base for the nose and the mouth. Top of the ear lines up with the eyebrow, bottom of the ear lines with the nose. I'm re-outlining, if you'd still call it that, the outline of the face. You can see I made a little indentation where in between the eyebrows and the eyes. That's to show where the cheekbone and the brow bone go on the skull. And really quickly just throwing in the pupils for the eyes as well as the crease for the upper eyelid. And I'm going to give this gentleman really big V-shaped eyebrows. And the neck as well as some basic anatomy like the collarbone there. And now I am pretty much done with my basic proportion outline. So I've got my kneaded eraser and I'm erasing all of that stuff as best as I can because I've mentioned this in another video. The pencil I'm using is really heavy and dark, so that way it shows up in these videos. So no, the outline doesn't go away in these videos, but when you do draw, make sure you use a soft pencil that you can erase easily and you draw lightly with it. So I'm going to get to work on these eyes, starting by outlining them, also the nose, putting in the nostril and then the bridge of the nose, giving more and more definition to this face. A little bit of the ear there. I think I will do a tutorial on the ear if I get enough interest in these pencil drawing tutorials. I may teach you guys how to draw an ear. And I'm gonna start pushing my values pretty early. Once, as I mentioned in other videos, once I have my proportions laid out, I don't have a particular pattern in how I start drawing. I kind of go by feel, how I feel about the drawing, and I guess I go where I'm led to put it. There's really no better way to put it. And you know, I really enjoy drawing the eyes. I think of all the features that I enjoy most, it is the eye. I guess it's because that's where you connect. You know, whenever you talk to people, you look them in the eye. That's where a lot of expression is made in movies. It always shows the character's eyes. And I just realized that this gentleman's right eye looked a little funky. He kind of looked like he was cross-eyed there, so I'm going in to fix that. I erased it and fixed that proportional issue. There. That's a bit better. Really pushing the values on those manly eyebrows. And I'm going to put in the hairline now. He's going to have a bit of a widow's peak, but I'm also going to give him some spiked hair, very fashionable for young men. And I always like to make the sides of the hair the darkest because all that hair is condensed, so that's usually where it's going to look darkest. Next, I've put in a bit of shadow around the neck and clavicle. And now I'm getting to the cheekbone. Now, I find one of the fun things about drawing a masculine character, masculine anatomy, is it's very geometric and you can really push the lines. There's more, it's not as soft or subtle, so I think in some ways that may be easier for people. I used to enjoy just drawing female characters because of their subtlety, but now I've gotten to the point where I enjoy drawing masculine people or masculine characters because I get to really push those definitions, like especially when it comes to the skeleton. You've got protruding cheekbones, brow bones, chin, and it just looks really awesome. You can get away with a little bit more in that regard. So, if you have a hard time with drawing circles, but you like drawing squares and lines, you might have an easier time drawing male characters. The principle of form and values, though, you still need to know how to, like, say, for example, if you learn how to draw a sphere, which I think I'll do a video sometime, how to draw a sphere and how to draw light and shadow on a sphere, because you use those same principles even when you're drawing, very geometric shapes. There's still some organic subtlety. Like, say, if you look at his chin, I've got shadows on his chin, but there's a little bit of a reflective light, which is what you would see on a circle. I think that's a nice touch. He's got all these heavy eyebrows and dark this, heavy lines, but then he's got a nice subtle chin, even for that masculine chin. He's got that subtle backlighting. And just slowly building up all these other shadows around the face. Like I said, you get away with a little bit more on shadows because you've got all these geometric shapes going on. And I really enjoy drawing the skull. So, you can draw a more protruding skull, or like in my college classes, the teacher called them the bony landmarks, and that would have been your cheekbone, the brow bone, the chin, the jawbone, and you can just really push it, and it comes out looking really good. And I'll say it again, even if you get tired of it. As you can tell, I don't mind talking. This is how, I teach class to junior high students. This is how I usually talk to them. I like to engage with people, so that's how I like to do my art tutorials as well. I like to just throw out a lot of information as if I was teaching in real time. And I'm just going from one point of the face to another, and you can see I've got my eraser back out. I'm going back in and softening some of those dark shadows. There were some that I felt were being pushed too hard, and probably made him look a little bit older, and I wanted him to be a young man, so I decided to soften some things up. Give the illusion of youth. Like right here. That was a good shadow for the little wrinkle there by the mouth, but it was a little too heavy, and it made him look a little bit more aged. If you're drawing somebody and you want them to look more aged, put in wrinkles. And if you want someone to look younger, leave out wrinkles. Even if it's not perfectly true to, say, if you're drawing a person, if you still want them to look younger, then you don't have to put in all the details. But if you do want them to look older, put in those wrinkles. It's decision making. It's a lot of trial and error when you're drawing anything, but especially when you're drawing portraits and faces. It's just a lot of trial and error. You find out what works, what doesn't, and you just keep doing it. Repetition, repetition. Just keep doing it, and you learn what fits your style. That nose is coming along really nicely. I'm happy with that nose. I'm going to soften the bridge of the nose a bit. That was looking a little too heavy. And a little bit of the lower lid there too. I'll soften that a bit. Put a little shadow on the outer lower lid. And at this point, it's really just touch-up work. I've blocked out all the major funny landmarks, the shadows, the highlights. This is often the part where I can really easily go too far and overdo it. Sometimes you want to just step back and put it away and then come back later. And that way you can make better decisions. But anyway, here is how to draw a young man. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and please like it and share with your friends. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to How to Draw and Paint channel. You guys have a great day.